Hello everyone, welcome to the Man United agenda. We will be doing all the latest news from Old Trafford. Hello everyone, welcome back to the Man United agenda, another Monday show giving all the latest news. I'm back with a Monday. How are you on Monday?
Yeah, I'm great. We had a great result of the weekend, so my Monday's been fine. I've been looking around my work colleagues saying, "Who wants to talk about football? Anyone see the game of the weekend?" And there was pure heads down. I live in London, obviously, so these Tottenham fans and Arsenal fans, yeah, they want to keep quiet.
Well, all my work are full of Manchester City fans, Oldham fans,
Oh God!
even a couple of Liverpool fans. So it's not good at all. But none of them wanted to talk football with me neither. I was asking a Man City fan which was your favourite Premier League hat trick. He couldn't answer me though. I'm sure he probably would have said Aguero, but I was like,
it's a long time ago.
I like this one.
We talk current affairs, What do you just briefly? What do you think about the hat trick and the game?
It was a brilliant game. I think we could have been a lot better. I don't think Paul Pogba really suits that number 10 role for me, and I do believe in that kind of respect. We was missing Bruno. I prefer Pogba as a central midfielder alongside a CDM of Matic. That's where he's going to be a lot more free of the ball. Don't like him as a winger either because we need someone pacey on that wing. But Ronaldo, absolutely brilliant. Tellez, brilliant for me as well. And Fred, one of the best games he's had as a Manchester United player this season. So I think there's room for improvements, but we are seeing small but sure improvements by the Manchester United team. And if we continue to get results, we will get that top four. What do you think on Monday?
Regarding top four, yeah, I still think Arsenal are capable of slipping up. Obviously, they've got to play Liverpool this week. They've got to play Villa. They've got to play us. That's 3 games. And Chelsea, I think they've got to play as well. So it's not going to be easy. I think it's going down to the wire. It's really exciting for all fans. It's going to be really great finish to the season. As regards the game, I don't think it was the best performance by Man United. Obviously, if this is the problem now, Maze, isn't it? We watch every game like with goggles on and we're analyzing every single detail. Sometimes you say, "Oh, why don't you just enjoy the win rather than?" But that's not our job, is it? Our job is to pick apart every little detail, every fine detail. So I'm not going to sit here and say it was the best performance. The results, what counts at the end of the day. I just want to see progression, like you said. I want to see progression with the side and to be able to get to the point where we're ready at the right time to beat these teams, like tomorrow, for example. That's crucial. So I don't want to look back and say, "Oh, Maguire should have done this for the goal or the own goal, or Tellez should have turned his back." That's gone now. These are professional players; they know what they're doing wrong, and there's no need for us to point it out because it doesn't help, does it? Really? So I just think I'm happy with the result. It's what we needed, and now we move on to bigger and better things.
Exactly. I'm looking forward to Champions League football tomorrow. Missed it. Yeah. I've missed it. It's only been a couple of weeks, but I've still missed it. But hello there to Niall, who's in the chat as well. Thank you as well for tuning in. Let's go into some news there for Manchester United. And the first thing was actually about Paul Pogba, because I actually have been reading about Paul Pogba. Paul Pogba's personal trainer has confirmed that Paul Pogba is going to leave as a Frenchman in the summer as a free agent, and his contract runs out on the 30th of June, and he's not expected to sign any contract whatsoever. And for me, it just feels like, why is his personal trainer coming out like this? I think it's absolutely wrong to come out like this. We've got a big game tomorrow. We've got a big game, and there's a time and there's a presence. Just as I said about Rashford after defeat against City, there's a time and a place when you should be bringing out this news with what came out with Fabrizio, and this is the same now. There's a time and a place when we've got a big game coming on Tuesday, and I just think if he wants to leave so desirably, that's absolutely fine, but I would love to hear it from himself if he truly wants to leave. But what do you think about that on Monday?
I agree with you in the fact that it's the timing when you hear this stuff come out. Sometimes I think to myself, well, look, he hasn't signed already. If he was really going to stay, he would have signed a long time ago and would have let all this pressure and the talk go away, you know. But he hasn't signed, so it does seem to me he's going to leave. I don't see what could change his mind right now, and especially when you read this thing, what the personal trainer was saying. I mean, who's next? Is it a barber? He doesn't need a barber anymore, does he? He's shaved it all bald. He doesn't, you know. He's gone for the clean cut bald head thing, which I think suits him, by the way. I think the personal trainer. I think, well, where's this information coming from? Why is it coming out now? And it's so detailed. Is it to say he's done with Man United? He needs to look, you know, for pastures new. He wants to move on, you know. And I'm thinking, well, why is Pogba going to allow this man to chat for him? You know, and why? And will he still be his personal trainer after this? Was he being? I don't know. Was it, you know, like sometimes the News of the World used to get some reporter to meet someone in the bar and say, "Oh right, oh yeah, you're Pogba's personal trainer. Tell us some more," you know, and bug them or something like that, or seduce him with some pretty young girl. Said, "Oh, tell me about Pogba." You know, yeah, he's leaving. He told me this. He told me that. You know, that kind of thing. That's how it seems to me. That's the kind of. Otherwise, why would Pogba be allowing this? Pogba would probably be on the phone today to his former personal trainer saying, "What the hell are you doing?" You know, it's not cool. It's not cool, especially going into a big game like this. You don't need that. Let's have some clarity here. Let's look at the balance. We got Ronaldo. Obviously, there's rumors coming out about does he want to stay? Is he happy? But I think with Ronaldo, it's back to standards. He's come in a few months ago. He said about the youth not being up to standard. They need to improve their mentality, that kind of thing. And I accepted that. I accept that could be the case. Since then, he hasn't said he's going to leave. He hasn't really come out like directly from his source or anything like that. It's just speculation, you know. But I think he's being professional. He came out the other day and said, "Look, it's March, April, May. These are the months I'm focused on getting in the top four and going for the Champions League." You know, so that shows the difference in the professionalism of his team, the Ronaldo brand, everything compared to Pogba. For this to leak, it's just like it's another slap in the face or a slap on his big bald head now to say what is, you know, come on, man. It's just going to cause criticism. It's just going to get fans on your back, and you don't want like when we're playing tomorrow, we don't want any whistles or any boos because of these statements that have come out. You know, because I know some fans would be like, they don't realise they're being set up here. We could be playing tomorrow. How do you know Atletico Madrid haven't set this up, the timing, you know, to come out like this, which is a big story. So we could be playing tomorrow and it just affect the players, the mood. Oh, they're booing Pogba because he shouldn't be there. He doesn't want to play for us. He hasn't got the desire. You know, all that kind of thing comes out. So for me, I just think the timing's bad. I question the source. I question whether he's still his so-called personal trainer. And I think sometimes my motives, it doesn't affect me like that. I'd be like, wow, this is BS. And don't let it affect the team tomorrow because we've got a big game. Let's not have any negativity or anything. And just accept probably he's leaving. That's clear as day, I believe.
Yeah, and as well, we've seen it before with Paul Pogba's agent, just as Matthew has already touched on a little bit in the chat. We have seen it before where he's come out at the wrong time in derbies against Liverpool as well. And it brings a negativity down in the squad. And knowing that this game for me is more important than this Spurs game because it's a cup competition and this is what our only chances of winning a trophy this season. So I just look at things and it angers me a little bit. And it doesn't matter what player it would be, it would anger me regardless. I think, like you've said, it is lack of professionalism. And you have seen it before where Paul Pogba has come out, his agents come out and said, "This is fake news. This is fake news." Why are you not coming out this time and saying this is fake news? Is it because it's true?
The main thing is what you said there, Maisie. Don't be mad. Don't be angry because you're going to carry that spirit around with you tomorrow, and it could affect our performance. And you know, even if you maybe not in the stadium,
I won't be angry at the time. I'll be angry if we lose.
Yeah, he gives the ball away. He gives the ball away, and you're gonna be, oh, that's why you don't want to play for us. And imagine there'd be 1,000 Maiseys at the game tomorrow with that same anger that you're carrying, and project it onto the pitch. And it means a lot. That's why we have fans there. This is why we call it 12 man. Don't get sucked in, guys. Don't get sucked in by this. Let's deal with this after the season and give him a little slap, say, you shouldn't have done that, Pogba, but let's focus on the game, because I don't like fans that getting too emotional or biting too much. This is a nice big bait, that they're hanging out for us to go, oh my God, look at this news. It's Pogba again, especially Pogba, because he gets it. Whenever it's Pogba's name, it's always like, oh God, him again. But be careful, guys. This might be fake news. When I say fake news, in the timing and just pumped up a little bit too much. There's too much said, too much detail in the text of what's the guys quoted to make me think this is a setup. Before the Atletico game, Diego Simeone's probably paid someone, or I know I'm joking here, but you never know with these things, to wind us up before the game and take our focus away from beating Atletico Madrid, which is what we got to do. And we need Paul Pogba on side.
Yeah, absolutely. You're completely right. Let's see what other people are saying in the chat about this. Niall said, I'm worried for top four because Arsenal need to play Liverpool on Wednesday at the Emirates and aren't guaranteed to win that game. I think if I'm correct, the other game in hand is Chelsea, I think it is. I think it's Tottenham, their game in hand, if I'm not mistaken.
Tottenham and Villa and Man United as well. They've all got to play us.
Yes, because I'm sure they was meant to play him a couple of weeks ago, Tottenham, and it got postponed because of actually fake Arsenal positive test, I believe. So, I believe that was the case. So, that it was Tottenham. Matthew, hello to you. Thank you for tuning in. Stumpy is in the chat. Hello to Stumpy. Thank you for tuning in. Matthew said Pogba needs to go. We have had the same situation under Ole with Pogba's agent coming out and said Pogba leaving right before a Champions League game. Yet we've seen it all before. But the personal trainer needs to concentrate on putting the cones out plus making protein shakes.
And stop being seduced by some reporter to sort of open your mouth,
Niall said, for me, why is his personal trainer getting involved, coming out with that? Just like Maisie touched on, it's wrong at the end of the day. Paul Pogba has a mind of his own. If he wants to go, he goes. Personal trainer needs to focus on collecting, putting out the cones, making the teas and the coffees, filling the water bowls, and doing the dishes after the players eat their proteins. And he has also said, the problem, what your thoughts on how their fan base will react to it at the game? Will they clap or boo him or shout abuse? As OMONDI has touched on, people don't realise what goes on behind closed doors. Yeah, completely agree with that. 100%.
Maisie, can I just say something about this as well? I'm just thinking about it now. Ronaldo went back to Portugal to get some specialist training from his personal trainer, and these guys have this now. This is the world we live in today. You don't go to your local GP or, that sort of thing. So Pogba, doesn't he go to Dubai or doesn't he go somewhere out of the country?
I believe so.
So how do we know a report hasn't gone to Dubai, seeked out this guy, got him, on a few drinks, and said to him, oh yeah, what do you know about Pogba? And then recorded it or something. You just don't know where this has come from, because I don't like the time. Let's not spoil it. Guys, I'm begging you all out there, all you Man United fans, if you go to the game especially, do not take this energy to the game. Yeah? It's not the first time. So just forget it. Let's get the win. Let's focus on the whole United team. Let's not focus on one player and put him off, because his performance might be the difference maker to us getting through tomorrow.
Potentially so. But Matthew said he would drop Pogba for this game. It will be interesting if that was the case. But here's some other news what's come out about Manchester United. Is that
is it good news? Is it good news, Maisie? All right, we're about to find out. I want to know, because that was bad news. That first one was bad.
That Manchester United had ended their interest with Haaland. Is that really bad news? Would you say?
It's real. It's real news. That's not fake news. That's probably something we expected.
Yeah.
To be honest. Yeah.
What do you think of that then? Because for me, a lot of people said yes, we should go for Haaland, but I see Haaland like Lewandowski in a way, because he's not a long-term investment. We have seen reports about Haaland. He wants to be one of them players who travel around like Zlatan Ibrahimovic. And if that was truly the case, if Manchester United want a plan in the next 5 years, like the teams around us in the Premier League, is Haaland truly that right option for Manchester United if we want a 5-year, 10-year plan, whatever that will be. If he's only going to be there for 2 years, is that going to disrupt the play even more when he leaves?
Berbatov, great player, wasn't he? Did you mention Berbatov's hat-trick on Twitter?
I did mention it was Rich who mentioned it. I mentioned White Yorks and Van Persie's.
Well, I saw you mention, it was you bouncing that off Rich's comment, and I thought, Berbatov's hat-trick, he was a great player. You know, we all look at, and he said the other day that we should go for Mbappe, Haaland, and somebody else. Verratti, I think it was, the midfielder. And I was thinking, wow, fat chance of that happening. But you have to aim high. You have to aim high. Let's not get it twisted. Obviously, Haaland is one of the most sought-after players out there. Goal a game. Wherever he goes, that's the standard he sets. And his mentality is really good as well. For such a young man, he's so focused. He's so determined. He's big. He's strong. He's quick as well, he's got a great shot on him. He can finish with his head. You know, and he's one of these guys who's, it comes with a name. It's a brand as well now. He's building himself up to be a brand. So his career path has gone from, where did we go from? Mulder, Gunnar Ole Solskjaer. He went to the Red Bull Club, Salzburg, and then he went to Borussia Dortmund. And obviously now that's a big club in Germany. He hasn't won anything. So the next move, obviously, because he's got this minimum fee release clause, he could go for like 70 mil or something. Someone will tell us in the comments. I don't take much interest into that. So it's clear that he might be leaving this summer. Now, he done a tour, I think, last year maybe, done a tour going around some clubs during their winter break. And he came to Man United, he came to Liverpool, he came to City, just went around to have a little butchers of what's going on, like flirting, And he's obviously made up his mind where he wants to go, and I don't think it's Manchester United. If we were at the status where we were before, when we were winning stuff, maybe we would have a shout, but I think that's what lets us down. I think the only thing that could convince him to come is him coming and turning us around, being that catalyst to really make us big again, which he could easily do, because we do lack a goal scorer. He would definitely get 20 maybe goals a season in the Premiership, which is that's how highly I rate him. It's the money would be good to get him this season based on the 70 million minimum fee release thing. We've got to be in there. We've got to try our luck. But if it turns out that we're not going to get that signing, and he doesn't want to come to us, we have to accept it. Already, I heard today they're looking at other players like the Swedish guy, Isaac, and a few others. Dembele used to play for Fulham and Celtic, at Lyon now, the French guy. And these guys don't really, turn me on as much as Mbappe and thing. But it's all about building a squad and building a team, and not just buying the best player in the world or the best superstar, because that doesn't always work. As we found out, we bought Sanchez, we bought Di Maria, we bought all these guys before in the past, and they haven't really. It's not. That's for players, for merchandising, for all these things, but not for the team. So I'd rather we focus on, okay, that's fine. We'll bring someone through the academy, or we'll look for someone. Charlie McNeil maybe could be the next big thing. Unfortunately, Greenwood, we were building him up to be something. He's not around anymore. So we have to buy a striker, that's for sure. If it's not Haaland, I'm not that heartbroken, because I kind of suspected it wasn't going to happen. But I do have to big him up and say he is a top professional and one of the best in the world today, even at his young age. So big up to him. Good luck to him wherever he goes. And like you said, if he's not going to be there for the long term, if he's going to treat us like Dortmund and just stay for a couple of years, then move on to what he thinks is something bigger, then maybe it's not good to get him. Let's build our own great players.
You look at some players, people look at players abroad and think, yeah, they're good. Like, they're not rated like the likes of Mbappe or Haaland, but it doesn't matter necessarily, like you have touched on, about the name, the franchise, the background of the player, in that matter of fact, because just as me and you touch on, it's the IQ of the player as well, in terms of the football IQ. And if you get someone who is a natural goal scorer, like you look at Nunes there from Benfica, who is another natural goal scorer. You see Martinez there from Inter Milan, who is a natural goal scorer. You look at them kind of players and think, these are natural goal scorers, they're young. And I'd rather have someone who is that good in terms of they are a natural goal scorer, they've got that football IQ, and they want to be there for the club. Because as much as that is the main thing for me, as much as, like you say, Haaland getting for 70 million, imagine the agent fees, imagine the wages. I think the wages, what you could get for Haaland, for instance, you could probably get 2 brilliant players for his wages.
Well, I think you look at the model. They've Liverpool, for example, they built on the system first, and they brought players in to fit the system. And I'm not here to endorse them. I am, because I want them to beat Arsenal this week. But beyond that, no, let's not endorse them. But they brought in Diaz, for example. They targeted him because he fits the bill. He ticks the boxes for them. You know, he doesn't even speak a word of English, but the stats wise, what he does, his role in the club, he fits in. There's no breaking in period for him. He fits into the system that they play, and that's what I want to see us do. Establish what our system is, and then bring in players like you said, Nunes or from Benfica, whoever it is, someone who's going to fit in and enhance our system of play and get us scoring goals or creating goals, or whatever it is. If he's a defender, stopping goals, you know, or a midfielder creating, passing the ball and having that key role in the club. That's what we need to focus on now. So big players, big names. Yes, exciting, but just get the players that's right for the club. And what you said was beautiful, Maisie, about someone who wants to be at the club, wants to prove something at the club. You know, that's what we need. That sort of desire, because that I think that's everything. I think someone wanting to achieve, someone with that ambition, someone with that drive. I was talking to a professional footballer yesterday, plays for Charlton. His name Connor Washington, and we had a good chat about football and everything else. And what I realised is that he, at 29 years old, he's so professional and he's had a good career because it's not just his skill, his attributes. It's about his professionalism. He's settled, he's married, he's mature, he doesn't mess around, he doesn't go nightclubbing. So there's other factors we have to look at with players, you know? And you don't want to bring a player in who's going to be doing all that kind of foolishness, you know? We've already had that this year with outside activities, messing up careers of our players, you know? So you've got to be grounded as well. You've got to be mature. And this is what Alex Ferguson used to do. He used to pick players and say, all right, I like this guy, but let's talk behind the scenes. Let's ask about him. What is he really like behind the scenes, you know? And one thing that comes to mind recently, Alex Ferguson really wanted Lewandowski at one point before he went to Dortmund.
Yep, so did Van Gaal.
He really wanted Benzema, you know, before. So Alex Ferguson knew these players, and look, they've gone on to be really good players. So maybe we should have a word of Alex and see, or just keep that sort of same pattern, that same system where we're looking beyond just the player or the YouTube highlights or the stats that he fits. What is he like as a person? Is he got that desire to really achieve at the club? Roy Keane, when he came from Nottingham Forest, obviously they saw good player, but there was something behind that as well, that drive, that determination that made him twice the player that he actually is, because he does everything basically really well. And about this, that drive and determination that made him a really important player. So I just want to see those factors come into our signings from now on, sensible signings and the right signings for the system of the club. And if it's not Haaland, if he doesn't fit in, like Man City, for example, you say they're the best team in the world or the best team in the Prem, they don't need him. They show they don't really, they've gone out and bust the gut to get him or Harry Kane. They're thinking, well, we need someone who's going to fit into our system. And that's why they're successful.
Mm-hmm. I completely agree. Let's see what other people are saying there in the chat as well. Let's go here. So, Niall said, would you play Pogba or drop him tomorrow due to the situation? Yes, I agree. Focus on the football. Important we win, but put the personal issues to one side. For me, we need Paul Pogba to play because we know the kind of creativity, the kind of midfielder that he does bring to Manchester United. He's very strong on the ball. It's very rare Paul Pogba does give the ball away. And in them kind of instances, you do need to have Paul Pogba in that central midfield, strong alongside a Nemanja Matic, or if that's going to be a Scott McTominay. You need someone who does read the midfield. You need our midfield to dominate Atletico Madrid. So put it all to one side. We need to put our strongest lineup up, especially knowing that we aren't going to be playing until Leicester in the start of April. No excuses to not put our strongest start 11 lineup on for the Atletico Madrid game. So for me, yes, I would start Paul Pogba. What about you on Monday?
I'm nodding. I say yeah too. It's not about the stupid speculation, paper talk, everything else. You play your best team. If you say to Pogba, you ready on it? Do you want to go out there and achieve and get us through the next round? And he's like, yeah, I'm on it. Forget that crap. then you play him. And afterwards, if he made the wrong decision or if the fans get on his back, then it's the fans' fault. Fans, stop being so stupid and stop getting involved in all this rubbish. It doesn't. Some of it's probably not even true. Just focus on winning the game and get behind him. You're either going to hamper him by getting on his case now. Just leave it alone. Let him play.
Mm-hmm. Niall has said Haaland would be a great signing. I think he'll end up at City. As me and Maisie spoke about, Timber from Ajax is a great shout as a possible signing. Anthony, Timber is a centre back at Ajax, and Anthony is a right wing position as well. Two options that we do need to consider. Probably the centre back, not as much as the right wing, but I think we do need another centre back in my opinion. But he's not a priority signing. But Haaland might go from Madrid to City to PSG to Bayern to Juventus to Barcelona. That wouldn't surprise me. Would not surprise me whatsoever.
That's funny.
Big God Bob has said, I wouldn't come to United if I was Haaland, and I'm a Man United fan. Fair enough. Hello there to Vaughn. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you're well. Legend is in the chat. Hello, I hope you're well. Man United don't need big names. You need a young striker. You got a world-class striker now. Bath Time has made a good point here. Strikers are going out of fashion now in the modern day football. You're seeing a lot more false nines now than what you're used to. But some games, I feel like, especially, like when you were playing these teams who play the low block, you need that kind of natural striker. Like if you do a long, like a Lindelof cross, for instance, a striker who is able just to head it in. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, no, totally. I think I get what Bath Time's saying as well. Like I say, I spoke to Connor Washington yesterday, and I asked him the same question. He's a striker. He's 5'9", 5'10". He's quick. Sits on the last man and gets in behind, that sort of striker. He said he prefers to play in a two-man strike force rather than two wide men around him. Because he said he felt that that man needs to have more attributes than he's got: hold up play, heading ability, target man, that kind of thing. So whereas back in the day, it used to be a little man, big man, two strikers, they could work off each other. Now this one guy who's the striker has to be. I mean, we look at the best guy, Benzema. Look at the attributes they have: Benzema, Lewandowski, Harry Kane. They can header, they can do it all. And some of these players like Kevin Phillips or Tony Cottee or even Andy Cole, for example, could he play in that sort of role and be as effective? When you got players coming through you at the back, it's a good thing now with the systems that we play, the 4-3-3, that sort of thing. So yeah, it's interesting that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely 100%. GMS has said the quiz master is live and direct. Hello there to GMS. Right. I hope you're well. Nyla said the striker I would love to sign is Nunes, Martinez from Inter, Haaland, Lewandowski. That's my options, all quality. But if I had to choose one, I know it won't happen. But I would pick Haaland. I can't see any of them happening, to be honest. But we can only hope. Boxer said Diaz, Cancelo, Odegaard, Matip, Robertson, Diaz, Mendes, Jota are all them sort of buys that went under the radar. We could have signed them. Jota is one I really do like, to be honest. Sir Alex Ferguson from Bath Time also wanted Dele Alli. Yep, I remember when he did want Dele Alli as well. Legend said, yeah, but it's that Man United problem. They love the big names, but there are a lot of gems. Exactly. Solo is in the chat. Hello there, Solo. I hope you're well. 10 people in the chat. Let's hit that like button. Hello there to Edda. Thank you for tuning in. Yep, always I've got a few streams there to do, but I'm always ready to go. Matthew said Sir Alex wanted Lewandowski. The board told him no because of the price. Wow. Bot said I think Fergie would have signed Kane for around the 2014-15 season if he was in charge. Interesting.
That's a good shout there.
Mm-hmm. Mr. B is in the chat. Hello there, Mr. B. I hope you're well. Maysbury again. I absolutely love being called Maysbury. Bath Time. Paul Pogba has only shown consistency in that he can't be trusted in the central midfield role. That is interesting as well there from from bath time as well. So what we'll do, we'll go on to the final topic of the show, which is about Maguire, which is of course Amondi's favourite subject. So I had to get it in.
Is it good news or bad news? That's what I want to know.
It's an opinion of somebody, a former teammate actually of Maguire. He's called Ahmed. He is a former Egyptian international, played with him at Hull.
The right wing back guy, yeah.
Yes. He has urged Manchester United to strip Maguire off the captain's armband. He feels like Maguire should not remain as the Manchester United captain, and he has said, Harry was with me in Hull City, and in my opinion, he doesn't have that level to be our Manchester United captain. Manchester United need a player with a strong personality, and I hope that the next manager will give the captaincy to Ronaldo if he stays. Ronaldo can handle this responsibility and pressure. However, Maguire can't handle this pressure. What have you thought about that statement there?
Okay, well, he's got more insight. He's actually played with him for a few years at Hull City. He said something about his character. He hasn't got the leadership qualities, that sort of thing. Mm-hmm. But that was when he was playing for Hull. One thing I have to give credit where it's due. He started at Sheffield United. He's played at Hull City. I think they got relegated. They come back up. You know, he's had to really battle it out. And when you're playing Championship and playing League One football, it's a lot different game. You have to be tough. And Harry Maguire has shown that resilience, I think, coming through. And then having to step up. He's stepped up levels. He went to Leicester. Then he started getting to the England side and played in the World Cup as well suddenly. And then he's on everyone's lips, you know. So this guy's pretty good, you know. So he's stepped up. Whereas his right wing back teammate, I don't know where, no one knows where he is at the moment. He's shouting, call 911, there's an emergency. We need to get rid of Maguire's captaincy. I played with him. Look at me, you know. Let's look at it like that. He's moved on. Harry Maguire stepped up for his abilities, obviously shown something, as we were discussing earlier. When you're signing a player, you also look at this: what are they grounded? Have they got stability? Have they got a wife and kids? Are they professional? These are questions that are asked when people get signed, and that's probably why this whatever his name, Al Nasser, what was the right wing back guy? I forget his name. That's why he's still at Hull. He hasn't really gone up a level, and Harry Maguire has. He slowly climbed his levels, so you have to give him credit for that. So to say he hasn't got character, I say he does. He stepped up, he performed. He was in the World Cup Team of the Year 2018. Since then, he's been probably one of England's best centre-backs, you know. And we've gone to a World Cup semi-final and a European Championships. We've gone to a Europa League final. We ended up second last year with Harry Maguire playing really well. None of this conversation would have come up last year. And I'm not ready to let go of last year's form to say, even though this year he's been really, gone downhill. There's been so many individual mistakes. So, the same applies to Rashford. What's going on with Rashford? You know, I was about to say Trashford. What's going on with Rashford? Is it similar to Dele Alli with Trashford? Ashford. I was going to say Ashford and Simpson, you know? But do you see what I'm saying? What's going on with these guys? It's a mental thing. For me, it still remains a mental thing for Harry Maguire. The art of defending, he does need to improve. He's jumped level. He's consistently gone up. Hull, Leicester, England, Man United, and now he's suddenly captain. And when he was given the captaincy, I think it was the right decision at the time because there was no one else I really considered at the time. I think Ashley Young was captain prior to that, so there's no one else in the squad I felt that really could have been stepped up and been a consistent captain. For one, he came in at big money. He was going to be centre back. He played near enough every game last season. He was this guy who never got injured. So I can see why he was given the captaincy by Ollie. It's just since then, the mistakes and the criticism and the spotlight being at a huge club like that, that's why all this negativity comes out. And I think if he can show a lot of character, get us in the top four, have a good run in the Champions League, and then go on to the World Cup and perform again, if that's the case, you've got to give people the opportunity to turn it around. And I think I haven't given up on Harry Maguire yet. I just think it's the mental side of things. I think it's got Ralph, the team, the staff team now. They can really motivate him, teach him how to calm down, you know, and manage things better. I don't think you should strap it, take the captaincy off him just yet. Not mid-season, not at this stage. That's useless. Wait until the summer, then make a decision. Doing that now, it's just going to be oh my God, you know, it's going to make things a lot worse. anyone can, like I keep saying, anyone can be captain on the pitch. Ronaldo, he doesn't care. He was talk to Maguire how he wants to talk to him. You know, he won't mind about that. So what this said, there might be some truth in it. Obviously, he's got more insight than me. He's played with him. He probably knows him better than me. But I balance that with other clubs have bought him, knowing that he probably is grounded. He has got attributes, mental, good strength mentally, and all this thing. He's proved it by stepping up level. And now he's got to that high level. He's had a little dip. But before that, I'm not going to give up on those 4 or 5 years prior to that where he's gone all the way up. And I believe he can get his SHIT together again and step up again and prove and get all this criticism off his back.
Yeah, I definitely do agree with you in the case that we shouldn't be switching our captains around at the moment. And Ralph did have the opportunity when he came to Manchester United to change the captaincy around. He decided to keep Maguire, which is, of course, his personal choice. For me, personally, I would have stripped him. Do you know what happened a few years ago? I'm not going to obviously bring it up, but I would have stripped it just because of that reason, too much limelight, and I would have gave it to Bruno Fernandes. I think he's a true leader. A lot of people are saying Ronaldo. Don't believe his strikers having the captaincy. Don't believe the goalkeepers should have the captaincy either. It needs to be someone who has a lot of game involvement. You look at a defender, lots of game involvement. Midfield, lots of game involvement. Same as a winger, same as a fullback, lots of game involvement. You look at a goalkeeper, De Gea. He only stays in his box. He doesn't come out of his box. He doesn't score a goal. He doesn't come out and be like a Ronaldo and shoot a goal. He doesn't do anything like that. He can't see everything what's going on the pitch. He won't be able to see what's going on all the other side of the pitch. Same as Ronaldo. As much as he drops deep, he isn't going to see everything what's going on around him neither. Whereas a midfielder, a defender, can see everything what's going on with the game to judge the game. And I just think Maguire was on good form this season, and a lot of people are criticising him. I will hold my hands up. I have criticised Maguire, but in terms of this captaincy, it needs to be looked at in terms of the summer, and we should go from there if what the new manager decides to do and what is best for the club also.
Yeah, I think also there's seniority in the club. This thing's come up. He's had a lot of mistakes this year, granted, but also he's got senior players above him. So he's the captain. He's supposed to be the man of the club. Then he's got players like Cavani's come on, more experienced, more prestige. Ronaldo's come along, higher prestige. It's hard for him. How's he going to talk to his elders or his seniors like that, you know? He's just an apprentice to these guys. So maybe for him, it's like he's stuck where he's thinking, okay, I can talk to the younger boys and say I'm the leader, whatever. But how do I say anything to these guys? They say to me, you were playing at Hull, like this wingback saying, you were playing at Hull not so long ago. What have you done? You know? And it's like, that's how footballers talk. It's about your CV. See, Ronaldo can say, well, I trump you. And my trump card is BAM, Champions League. You know, European Championship. I've done it all. Do you know what I'm saying? What have you done? You know, and that could really be a bit daunting for any captain and leader. I think as a captain of a football club, you need to be the man people come to for advice. You need to, you know, you need the man to sort out little problems, everything else. How is he going to sort anything out with Ronaldo and Cavani and Bruno, with all these guys who are senior to him, as in experience and CV, that kind of thing. So I think that's where he needs to show character now and get through it, get through this bad form, and stop trying so hard to perform really well. We really just back off, play the game easy, and remind yourself what got you to this level in the first place. That's the most important thing.
Definitely, 100%. Before we wrap up, we'll go through the final bit of the comments. Niall said, I'm sorry, he's not captain for me. A captain for me is a leader, passionate, vocal, and set high standards. I give it Bruno Ronaldo. Far more passion. Big God Bob, I said, Maguire's bootlaces tied together. Bots has said, I thought Maguire was very good last season. We looked lost when he got injured, which is correct. He has regressed this season, though. Bath time, I like Harry Maguire. I think he's played well for the last month or two, and he was one of the best centre-backs in the league last year. Correct. Big God Bob has said, Rashford slightly better than Dan James.
Slightly.
Slightly. Bath time has said, Rangnick hasn't had enough experience at top level to tell Maguire anything. Big God Bob has said, Maguire needs to be dropped. Bath time, we are far worse as a team without Maguire. If anyone gets a captaincy, it is going to be Scott McTominay. a lot of people think he is definitely captain material. If it's Niall, if it's a goalkeeper as a captain, how does De Gea shout encouragement if he's so far away from the pitch? Like example, it is goal, and how's he supposed to see what's going on? Exactly, completely agree with that. That's exactly what I was just stating before. We need a player that can be all over.
Maisy, just one point about De Gea, for example. I was thinking about when I ever heard him do an interview. I don't know, heard him speak.
I think he did do one interview once, and that was with Paul Pogba.
Well, you see what I mean? We were like, "Where once upon a time, this one time,
this season, but it was with Paul Pogba."
Yeah, but I'm saying it's very rare I see him speak. Or even today at a press conference, they had Tellez with Ralph on the desk. And sometimes you think, I always look when I'm watching these guys. He brings like, "You're coming with me to the press conference." And I watch these guys, and I think sometimes it's a bit nerve-wracking because as a footballer, you've got to be media trained as well. And sometimes when you're under pressure like that, or you like having a job interview, sometimes you get the flutters, or you can be a bit nervy. I think Tellez came across really well, even though he spoke in his foreign tongue, his Portuguese, Brazilian. He came across really well, poised and answered the question, no problem. But if we would have got Harry Maguire out there, do you think Harry is in the right state of mind right now to be answering questions and have the cameras right on him and everyone analysing his body language and that kind of thing? Do you see what I'm saying? If I was a manager and I've had trust in Harry Maguire was okay at the moment and because he's obviously going through something, you would bring him out and say, "Here's Harry Maguire with me. We're here to answer the questions." But I think Harry Maguire is a bit shaky at the moment. It is clear. This is why I'm saying sometimes you need to get behind players and fans need to support them better. I understand. All the fans in here, the comments are correct. Yeah, he's playing poorly. He needs to improve. But I love the balance where they say, well, he did play well last year, and the 4 years before that, he's been on the rise. Let's get behind him, regardless of that. He might, have issues and everything else. But that's what I'm saying. He could be going through anxiety right now, thinking, I can't face the cameras, boss. Please don't send me out there to the press conference with you. I'm not ready for that yet. Because really, truly, he should be as the captain of the club. He should be out there. I haven't seen him once out there with Ralph in a press conference. You see what I'm saying? So you have to look at these things.
Yeah, and it does raise questions because, like you say, you do see your captain doing these press conferences before the games. You see it quite a lot, but we haven't seen that at all with Harry Maguire. So it does show that this sports psychologist who we do have needs to put attention onto Harry Maguire if he hasn't already.
For sure. I mean, people say he's got thick skin, but he's got a big head as well. And maybe it's like to penetrate and get through to those, the issues he's going through his head. Maybe you need a big mammogram, or I don't know what they call them, those machines. But that jokes aside, let's get behind all players. Doesn't matter what's going on. We have to support all the players because it can't be easy for them. They're going through the same anxieties we would. Yeah,
you've ended it there on a positive. Stand by the players, stand by the team. Exactly.
Stand by your man. I thought you were going to break out the song. Mr. B, she's singing for you.
Exactly, I was singing there for Mr. B. Standing for Mr. B.
Stand by your man. Stand by your man. That should be our motto. Stand by your man, united. And
love it.
Let's get behind the boy. Because it's so important tomorrow. If we do it, after the Spurs result as well, if we get through past Atletico Madrid, man, we're going to be smiling and skinning teeth for the next few weeks. So come on, United.
Yes, I agree. Thank you, OMONDI, so much for coming on. It's been a great show.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed it. I know you're a busybody, and thank you for making time for me. Because what is this? You're doing 4 shows tonight? Wow.
I've always got time for you, OMONDI.
Well, you're in demand, and that's great because you're doing fantastic. So big up, Maisie.
Thank you so much, OMONDI, and thank you for everyone who's watched the Man United Agenda. We'll be next live at 8 o'clock. We'll be doing a preview for the Atletico Madrid game. So go and stay tuned for 8 p.m. for the Atletico Madrid preview. Everyone hit that like button. And if you're new to the Man United Agenda, also smash that subscribe button. But until 8 o'clock, we will see you soon. It's a goodbye for now.
Goodbye from me.